Everybody, welcome back to another video with me, Diamond Racing. Today I'm going to give you my Imola race review, rank the drivers from 20th to 1st, give you my F1 fantasy and the predictions of the race that went by, and the next one in Monaco. The race itself, though, was a very boring one until the end, in my opinion. If Norris didn't struggle with the beginning of the race, he would have maybe won the race, but that didn't happen, did it? So, yeah. But otherwise, it was a very interesting race. Battles up and down the field, a place to struggle to pass. Definitely, if it was maybe a race like Monza, Norris maybe would have gotten Verstappen, but the passing there is quite difficult. So we'll see what happens in Monaco because that's even harder. So let's start with the top 20 drivers from 20th to 1st. Last place is definitely Fernando Alonso, probably his worst weekend in F1 history, in my opinion. He didn't have a very good race, especially in qualifying. He made a mistake at FP3, crashed his car, and in qualifying he went out probably last if it wasn't for Logan Sargent. And then the race, he was last of all the runners. So not very good. He just was off the pace like immensely, so that's why he's lost. 19 is going to be Logan Sargent. And then I've got Fernando Alonso was my loser of the race. He was the worst driver in the race. P19 is going to be Logan Sargent. He was my loser after qualifying. I'm not sure what happened, but he didn't set a time. So I couldn't remember if his time was deleted or not, or if he made a mistake or something. Yeah, but his qualifying wasn't that good in anyway. And in the race, he did fine enough. He went up a few positions, but that wasn't very good anyway. I think he just finished like 17th or something. So not the best race for Logan Sargent. So yeah. P18, and it hurts me to put him here, but it's going to be Pierre Gasly. He was way off his teammate in qualifying, like 0.4 seconds, which was quite a lot. And then in the race itself, I think he had more pace than Ocon. He was also on a very weird strategy, starting with the softs, then going on to hards, and then to mediums. I don't know what the point of that was. It just ruined his race. But it was just on the back of his teammate. So, yeah, I think he had more pace than his teammate in the race. But Ocon definitely outqualified him by far. That's why he's so low here. P17 is going to be the 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. Just have a horrid weekend. Qualifying, he was outqualified by Russell. I thought it was the other way around. That in the race he made a weird mistake, and then the only reason he finished ahead of his teammate is because they stopped him for another time. I'm still not sure why they stopped Russell. If anybody knows, let me know. So yeah, if it wasn't for that, Hamilton would have finished behind his teammate. His race pace wasn't that good as well. So yeah, that's why he's there. P16 and P15 has the same score, with P16 going to Daniel Ricciardo. Qualifying, not that bad. It was in the top 10, but it was a few 0.2 seconds off his teammates. In the race, his race was very weak. Didn't have any pace, dropped 3 or 4 positions. After starting in the top 10, he was near the point, so I'm not sure what happened there, but he struggled, and that's why the person in P15 with the same score as him, Sergio Perez, had the opposite, a very, very bad qualifying. Out in Q2 with that car, ridiculous. But the race was more surprising, if I could say that. Now I think about, maybe Ricciardo should have been ahead of Perez because I forgot Perez made that mistake. So let's switch him for now. But still, not a good weekend for both of the Red Bull drivers, both of them fighting for the Red Bull seat, where I think not one of them should get it. So yeah. P14 is going to be Alex Albon. Not a bad qualifying at all, but the race itself couldn't get much out of that or rank him really on any type of scale because he didn't have lots of laps. So that's why he's only P14, so not much I can say about Alex Albon this weekend. P13 is going to be Valtteri Bottas. Qualifying wasn't that bad. The car's just very poop. And the race itself, he just went backwards, finishing, I think, second last of all the drivers. Don't think that anything went wrong. I think his strategy was a little bit right. But otherwise, Zhao just had more performance this weekend than Bottas did. 12th and 11th have the same score again, and 12th place goes to Carlos Sainz. He was just off his teammate the whole weekend. Wasn't quicker in any sessions, I think. And then he was out-qualified by a decent amount. And the race itself, he and Leclerc had pace. But I think Piastri, Leclerc and Norris outpaced Sainz by quite a margin. He finished P6 because he was the slowest of the top 6 drivers. So yeah, that's why he finished. Or was he 5th? Sorry, no, he was 5th because Perez was the slowest of the top 6 drivers, but he was the slowest of the top 5 drivers. So yeah, very close with those three teams. Sainz was just the weakest of those 5. We're not counting Perez in this one. So yeah. And the one with the same score as him is going to be 11th, is Zhao Guanyu. Not a very good qualifying, but his race was much better. He made up a few positions, like I think 4 or 3. But decent pace, trying his best to keep it clean, didn't make any mistakes. So Zhao had a better race than his teammate, while his teammate had a bit of qualifying, but I think Zhao's race was more impressive than Bottas's qualifying, if I can put it like that. Our point scorers, his 10th place is going to be Esteban Ocon, out qualifying his teammate, like I said, by quite a margin. The race wasn't that bad. He dropped a few positions and it was like just ahead of his teammate. I think it was like 2 seconds ahead of his teammate, even though Gasly had that weird strategy. So I'm not sure if the Alpines are just poo-poo, and I don't think if Alpine performs like they do, they will have these 2 drivers with the rumors going around. So we'll see what happens. P9 is going to be Kevin Magnussen. Now, qualifying, it was hard for me to predict rank where he was because he was impeded by Piastri. But the race was very good. He was my top 3 or my top 4 because he made up like 6 or 8 places. I can't remember now. I think it was 6. And he finished just behind his teammates, so that's very, very good. And he keeps it clean this weekend, so no drama there. So not a bad not a bad race and weekend from Kevin Magnussen. P8 and P7 again with the same score, with P8 going to Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda had a very good weekend once again, outperforming Ricciardo by quite a margin, out qualifying and out racing him, finishing in the points once again. Couldn't keep Stroll behind. Stroll was on a bit of strategy and he was faster, but Tsunoda tried his best and that was very good from him. And number 7 with the same score is going to be Oscar Piastri. Out qualified his teammate but made that mistake. I think if Norris maybe started 3rd, he could have had a better slipstream to catch Verstappen, but what happened. And yeah, Norris was faster than his teammate. Oscar Piastri didn't have the pace over Norris as he did the qualifying pace, and that's why he's only P7, but he still had a very, very good race. The top 8 were very close together, so yeah. P6 is going to be George Russell. Good qualifying, out qualifying Hamilton, no mean feat. And then the race itself, he just had a calm, decent race. Over to Perez, very, very good. Then he made a gap to Perez, and then he pitted, and he was still in front of Perez, and Perez just couldn't catch them, even though, I don't know why they pitted him. Like I said, I thought maybe it was because they were afraid if there's a safety car or something coming out that he had the space between Hamilton and Perez to pit for safety, but then he just finished behind his teammates. So I don't know why they did that, but Russell was just faster than his teammate over the whole weekend. P5 is going to be Lando Norris. Very good drive in a race. The qualifying, he was out qualified by his teammate by a very small margin. But a small margin is still a small margin. In a race, he was my second best. I think you'll see who was my best driver in a race. But Norris did very well. I don't know where that pace came from at the end. I just wish it happened one lap earlier. Because if Norris won that race, then my predictions would have been so close to perfection. But still, that would be so cool of him fighting Verstappen to the last lap. They did, and that was very entertaining for the first time in a long while. So I'm very happy with Norris P5. P4 is going to be Nico Hülkenberg. He was my qualifying winner. He was the person who had qualified the best. He was number 1 in qualifying 1. In qualifying 2, he was very close. In qualifying 3, he could have made the best of it. But the race, that's where it just went off a little bit. Didn't have the pace between the drivers around him. I think Magnussen was the better driver between these two in the race today, or yesterday. That's why he is only P4. Probably could have been P3, P2, or P1 if he had a better race, but that's just what happened. P3, our first podium sitter is going to be Charles Leclerc. Another consistent weekend for Leclerc. Very good qualifying, very solid race. He outpaced Sainz by a margin, and he could have fought for the pole, but that didn't happen. Close to happen, but it didn't. And then the race, he fought against Piastri and he won. He fought against Norris, he didn't win. And yeah, I thought he could have maybe gone for the win if he overtook Norris, but that didn't happen. Norris just got weird pace. So yeah, but still a very good drive from Leclerc, just solid over the whole weekend. My number 2 silver medalist is a shocking one. It's Lance Stroll. They get mad. I don't like Lance Stroll, but he had a very good qualifying. Out qualifying Alonso by 0.43 seconds. That's no mean feat. I know he just went down in Q2, but still. And the race, he also had a very good race. Alonso just couldn't get past anyone, but Stroll made it from 13th, I think, to 9th. That was very good. I don't like Stroll. I don't think he should be in the sport, but that was a very good drive from him, and he should get credit where it's due. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And our number 1, our winner of the weekend is the winner of the weekend, Max Verstappen. 8 pole positions in a row, equaling Senna's tally. It's just crazy. Yeah, I don't know what I should say about this guy. He's just amazing. He was my driver of the race, even though Norris caught up to Verstappen. Verstappen did his job. He still won, and he made a massive gap in the beginning of the race. Like I don't know where he got that pace. He was like 6 seconds ahead at one point. So I don't know what happened with the tire just going over the dip, and he almost made a mistake in getting a penalty. If he did get a penalty, then he wouldn't have been the winner of the race. So yeah, that's why it's number 1. Let's really go through my F1 fantasy. I only got 124 points this time. Russell gave me the most of the drivers, so that's why. So Ocon only gave me 1. Russell gave me 23. Alonso gave me 4, and he's my multiplier by 2, so that's probably where it went bad. Albon gave me minus 20, and Gasly gave me 1. And then McLaren, Ferrari, 64 for McLaren and 51 for Ferrari. So that's where that went. And my Imola predictions, I only got 2 correct. I said Russell, good drive, correct. Bad drive for Verstappen. Paul, Hamilton, I thought it was going to rain or something, so yeah. 5th place Piastri, so close. 4th place Perez, not that close. 3rd place Leclerc was correct. 2nd place for Verstappen, almost happened. That was a lap away of happening. And 1st place Norris, again, a lap away of happening, so yeah. And my crazy prediction was Perez out qualifying Verstappen, and the opposite happened. Perez didn't even make it in the Q3, so my predictions suck. But in any case, Monaco may be a better one. So my good driver is going to be Hulkenberg. My bad driver is going to be Zhao. My 5th place is going to be Russell. I don't have to explain why my top 5 is my top 5. 5th place is going to be Russell. 4th place is Sainz. 3rd place is Leclerc. 2nd place is Ricciardo. I think he's going to have a good qualifying, and he's good in Monaco, and if you can't pass there, then you can't pass. So that's my thinking of it. And 1st place, Perez. You may wonder where Verstappen and Norris is. We'll see what happens. Maybe they crash. Maybe they don't do good. Who knows? Maybe the McLarens aren't that fast at Monaco. My crazy prediction is Piastri out in Q2. So that's my predictions. We'll see what happens. I'm probably going to get 0 out of 9 for this one, but it's fun. I enjoy it. And maybe one day I'll just get 9 out of 9 because I'm that bonkers. So yeah. Enjoy the Monaco GP weekend, and I'm trying to get this out as early as possible because I really want the viewership. Thank you, and have a good day.